Somewhere, right now, someone is about to kiss another person for the very first time. Their hands are trembling. Their heart is pounding so hard they're sure the other person can hear it. And in that half second before their lips touch, their entire body is running on instinct, on something ancient, on something they never had to learn. You've felt this, maybe once, maybe 100 times. That rush, that fear and want tangled together. But here's what almost no one ever stops to ask. Somewhere, a very long time ago, one human being did this before anyone else on Earth ever had. There was no name for it yet, no one to tell them it was normal. No movie had ever shown them how. They just leaned in, and what happened next changed the species forever. You do this without thinking. Your brain lights up like a switchboard. Your heart rate climbs. A flood of chemicals moves through your body in seconds. Chemicals that was shaping human bonds long before humans had words for love. But the real story of where this came from is far stranger and far more moving than you'd expect. Kissing is not universal. That alone should stop you. Anthropologist William Jankowiak studied cultures across the world and found that only a little over half of human societies practice romantic kissing at all. So if this feeling isn't hardwired into every human on Earth, where did it start? And why did it survive? Let's go back. Not centuries, millions of years. Your closest living relatives are chimpanzees and bonobos. Watch them long enough and you'll see something achingly familiar. After a fight, after fear, after pain, they press their mouths together. Primatologists call this reconciliation, not romance, repair. A way of saying, without any words at all, I am still here. I am not your enemy. Think about how tender that is. The very first mouth-to-mouth contact in your evolutionary history wasn't about desire. It was about forgiveness. No language yet. No way to say I'm sorry, or I trust you, or please don't leave. Just touch, just breath, just closeness, offered at the most vulnerable possible distance. A mouth pressed to another mouth said something no sound ever could. It said, I am close enough to hurt you, and I choose not to. That's the seed, but it doesn't yet explain the ache you feel tonight. For that, you need mothers. Before there were spoons, before there was food in jars, mothers across early human history chewed food and passed it from their own mouth into their infant's mouth again and again for years. Anthropologists have found this practice on nearly every continent. Picture it, a mother's face pressed to her child's over and over, not out of romance, but out of love so basic it kept the species alive. Long before a kiss meant passion, it meant I will not let you starve. I will not let you go. Somewhere between forgiveness and survival, something shifted. The behavior moved from parent and child to one aching human heart reaching for another. Nobody wrote the moment down. There was no witness. But somewhere, someone touched their mouth to someone else's, not to make peace, and not to feed them, but simply because they could not bear to be any further away. And for the first time, closeness itself became the entire point. Here's where it gets even stranger and even more human. A kiss puts your face close enough to breathe in someone else in a way no conversation ever allows. Biologist Klaus Wedekind ran a now famous study in the 1990s, sometimes called the sweaty t-shirt experiment. Women's attraction to men's natural scent lined up with genetic markers tied to immune compatibility. Somewhere in your chest, without your permission, a kiss might be your body quietly asking, could we survive together? Could our children survive? And there is more happening beneath the surface than you will ever consciously feel. A kiss floods your brain with oxytocin, the same hormone that surges when a mother first holds her newborn. Researcher Helen Fisher spent decades studying the brain chemistry of love, and she described a kiss as a shortcut straight into the oldest circuits of attachment humans have. One kiss, and your brain begins building a bond before either of you has said a single word about tomorrow. So think again about that first human being, standing somewhere in the deep, unwritten past, leaning toward another person with no idea what they were starting. Their body already carried the wiring. Fear and love and hunger and forgiveness, all tangled into one small, trembling act. The behavior only had to catch up to what their heart already knew, and it spread, but never evenly. Jankowiak found that romantic kissing appears more in societies with privacy and individual choice in love, and less in tightly bound communities where everyone already belongs to everyone. Which means the kiss on your lips tonight isn't only ancient, it's personal. It's a fragile, inherited habit, reshaped again and again by every generation brave enough to lean in first. You were never taught to kiss the way you were taught to read. No one sat you down with a diagram. And yet, when the moment came, some part of you you already knew exactly what to do. That knowledge didn't come from a class. It came from millions of years of mothers who refused to let their children starve, primates who chose peace over violence, and human hearts that slowly, painfully, beautifully learned that closeness could be safe. So think about the last time you kissed someone you love. It probably felt effortless, automatic, like your whole body simply knew where to go. It did know. It has been practicing since before your species even had a name. And somewhere, a very long time ago, one trembling human being leaned toward another. Not for peace, not for food, but for something they had no word for yet. They had no idea they were starting something that would outlive them by hundreds of thousands of years. They had no idea it would end up on your lips tonight, still feeling like the most natural thing in the world.